CryptoGod here, and today we have some sexy ladies with us from Rocket, which, I'm telling you right now, I'm a little hot under the collar right now because,
Hey, I'm Lydia.
Hey Lydia, how you doing?
I'm the CEO of Rocket. Glad to be here.
You know, I'm really glad Rocket's led by a lady and not some creepy dude, by the way.
Yeah, it makes it a lot better.
I was halfway expecting it was just a group of dudes who loved porn, just to be honest.
Well, that's like most of our copycats, but we actually have a female running this and female ambassadors.
That's like Shelby here, right?
Yes.
How you doing, Shelby?
I'm good. I'm just eating gummy worms.
She's eating the worm. Okay, let's go. So, tell us a little bit about Rocket.
Okay, so Rocket is a deflationary token aiming to disrupt the idol industry. So we are providing an 18 plus NFT platform, and we believe we are the first NFT platform to exist. We also think we're the leading as well, since we're the first. And we're also going to implement an OnlyFans-like competitor later on in the year, where you can pay for like private content subscriptions in our token.
There we go. Now, there was, I think they were called Vert or Verge, that were trying to partner with Pornhub a while back to where they could pay for premium videos, but I don't think they actually ever landed that deal. But as far as I know of the very direct branding, I'm pretty sure you guys are the first.
Well, we aren't aiming to partner with existing platforms. We're aiming to build our own.
You know, exclusivity is a hot thing. And when you're in the adult industry, it's good to be hot. So, like, yeah.
Burning hot.
Burning hot. You know, that reminded me of, have you seen the Thor Ragnarok movie?
Yes.
You know, it's like, be like, Hulk, Thor like little baby fire. Hulk like burning, hot, raging fire. I think there should be a meme made talking about like another coin and having like Rocket like having the like their icon over Hulk's face in that moment.
That's a good idea.
You know, I have a guy that would more than love to do that, by the way. I have a guy for it. So if ever you guys are interested, I can put my dude on it, you know. Like,
we like memes.
Yeah, I love me some memes. Like, if I'm not looking it to some hot ladies, it's to some memes, I tell you that much. Memes gone wrong, so to speak. But as it were, you know, it's a pretty cool thing that you guys are doing, because I think a couple days ago, or it was yesterday, you know how it is in the space, like days blend together and it feels like yesterday was 3 weeks back.
I thought today was Saturday.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's Friday. That's still good.
It is Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend, which means...
It's Friday.
Which, you know, you probably guys see an upspike in activity on the weekends in your industry.
Honestly, I have not paid attention. I just am so used to seeing fans join every like day.
Well, you know, that's the thing, you know, with the oldest profession on the planet, right?
Truly is.
Like, people take their lunch breaks and join you sometimes, I bet.
Oh yeah, I've had a few lunch breaks. No, really. So when I did some like glory stuff for Glory Secrets, it was during the guys' lunch break. So obviously they'd be tested, and then they'll come in, get their stuff, and then be on with their day. Go back to work.
Now that's living.
Yep.
Which, you know, like, you gotta have some interesting stories, right?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta share probably your favorite story and then the funniest story.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
What is the funniest story? I mean, there's quite a few funny moments. I remember I was on the set with Dog and
Dog.
Yeah, literally.
With hold up, you can't just gloss over a name like dog and we not go back. What the is dog fart? Please, just give me a moment.
It's a site.
A porn site called dog.
Yeah. Hey, you know the name sticks.
I don't know. It sounds like it stinks a little, you know.
Yeah, like pocket. Yeah. It's very sticky like pocket.
There's so many people that are Googling like dog in incognito mode right now.
Oh,
like,
probably.
Like right now, they're like, I gotta find this dog thing. You know. Okay, so sorry. I'm taking because the whole like you can't really be reverent when you're talking about sex work, really.
No,
like
you can't.
There's no decorum here. It's you know. Have you heard the song "The Internet Is for Porn"? By the way,
I don't believe so.
You work in the industry and you don't even know.
Okay, you know what? Sometimes I'm a little behind on my music.
You know what? Later, I'll send you some stuff. No pics, I promise. Just
it's okay.
Just music.
Story of my life.
No. See, I'm a little different. See, actually, I don't really like. I'm not a consumer of the industry as much as other people, if at all, right? Because I focus primarily on like my business, so I'm not really a consumer per se, right? Like,
I don't know about that.
Well, you know, sometimes those TikToks give you thoughts, but like in a traditional sense, though, as far as like a consumer wise goes, like there's this like divide on the internet. Yeah, a stigma versus paying the people for their work.
Mm-hmm. There truly is.
Like, why would I pay for it when I can get it for free? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they have bills.
Do you know how many times I have heard that? And I literally just like want to bang my head on the wall. Because I'm just like,
OnlyFans made billions.
Right.
Yep.
So there's definitely a market for it. It's because people want to see people undressed who aren't showing it for free, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
They want to see a connection.
Yeah, it's more personal, I think.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Those are the best. A lot of the OnlyFans girls I know have done so well because they interact with their fans so much that the guys feel loved, especially during the quarantine and everything. Like people were lonely.
I mean,
so any kind of connection help.
Well, it's like in some of the people that are doing these things, they lack certain social facilities, right? And it might be the only positive social interaction they get. Yeah,
especially if they don't know how to talk to women that well. It kind of helps. They're like, oh my God, I talked to a girl. I talked to my favorite girl. Oh my God.
Yeah, and she knows me by name when I log in. You know, I think like society is a really interesting thing with the way they look at it, you know. On one hand, it provides a service for those guys that are like, especially like I know one, like I've dated a couple sex workers in the past, right? And like it wasn't like a weird thing for me because work is work.
Exactly, it is.
You know, and I didn't even know that they were involved in that until like later down the road because they were afraid to tell me, right? But
understandably, like not anything like personal, just it can be very hard to communicate to someone what you do for work because it's so shunned by the industry.
Right. And I'm sure like it can also be really hard to connect with people in the dating sphere.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like
look at Tinder.
Oh God. And then like
so bad.
And then it doesn't help that sometimes the sex workers will use Tinder to promote their stuff. So it's like guys are like the guys, right, don't know if like you're actually interested or just trying to move your product. Yep,
that is true.
And
yeah, I'm on Tinder, so I've had a few of those moments. Like I kind of do a mixture of both promotion and making a connection because like I want to meet friends. Friends are nice.
Right. And it's hard to differentiate between like where you probably have a very definitive way how you decide who you're going to show interest into and who you're going to like create them into a client, right? So I guess these are questions I've had for a while, right? Because like, so I'm really glad that we can be in this interview format because I think it can be really educational for people, right?
Yeah.
So when you are in this dating space, right? What are you actually looking for as far as like in the dating world?
I mean, the main reason why I am so open about what I do is because one, I really stopped caring what others thought of me. And two, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like I would rather someone know what I do up front and not later down the road when, you know, I catch any kind of like emotion or anything.
Right. Like
I'm just not up for that.
Like I had befriended this chick that she was doing kind of like the OnlyFans thing. She was a girl, right?
Yeah.
And we started talking and it was pretty like obvious she did what she did, right? But I would never ask her about her work ever. And eventually she's like, what's up with you? Right? And I'm like, what? Can I just not have a conversation with you and not be about that? Like, is that not okay? Like, can I just not ask you about, you know, how your cat's doing instead of like what your pussy
literally
doing? You know, is that not like an acceptable thing? And she's like, no, it's just that never happens. I'm like,
because it's true. It is true.
And like, and it got to the point when she would do her modeling shoots, right, for side girls, she knew that like I have that professional separation stuff, right? And she really cared about the artistic side of these shoots. So she would send me her spreads before she would send them out. And she's like,
yeah, she wanted your opinion.
Yeah, she's like, can you just tell me what's working here and what's not? I'm like, sure, right? And
that's major if someone in any type of industry is doing that because they are wanting your approval. They're like bringing you in a way into their world. And
it never fostered into like a dating thing. Like we never shared an orgasm or anything. And it was never really about that sort of thing. It was more just like, you know, when a person comes to me and they work in a field, I have a type of insight that a lot of people find valuable. So it's just like, it's just interesting the life that I've lived versus others, because in my mind, Shelby, you got 1,000 dudes at very minimum, all trying to compete for your attention. And not a single one of them would seem to, it can probably feel like not a single one of them gives a about how your day is.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I have a few fans that actually do genuinely care because I recognize their name. I know them from when I first joined back in 2016. So I recognize names. And like one guy was on my Snapchat, I think like 2-3 years ago, but my Snapchat got deleted. And he actually just found my OnlyFans and he was so surprised I remembered exactly who he was. It's like, it's one of those connections I really, really like having. And not a lot of fans realize, you know, like we're not all about sex. We have lives too. Like,
right. You got families. You might have a pet. You might like World of Warcraft. You know, you might like music that you're not promoting that you actually listen to, and you might be just using it for a trend so you can be more, you know, popular
or whatever. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it's kind of dumb to an extent because of the way we have to market this sort of stuff. And I personally want to let people feel like people and humans. You know,
that's how it should be.
And I get kind of concerned for you ladies sometimes, you know, because I'm sure it can at points feel kind of lonely.
Yes, it definitely has its moments. I go through my phases.
Right. And like I had one friend, she was going down the modeling route, right? And she was very against people posting comments about being objectified. And when she mentioned to me that she wanted to do an OnlyFans, my reaction to her wasn't based upon my opinion of the industry, by the way. I just said, please don't. And she's like, why? I'm like, one, I don't think your mental health could handle it. Two, you have made a very public stance in the background. So where's your integrity on all of this? You know?
I mean, you got some very, very good points. When a lot of girls join, they don't realize how much you have to grow as a person, especially mentally. Like, obviously, we all have our own issues and we deal with anxiety, depression, whatever.
Because you're people.
But exactly. So just, the industry will bring you down. Like, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, it won't do that to you ever. It has its up and downs. People will troll you. There'll be assholes because that's how people are. But it just, you have to take it like a grain of salt.
And then especially if you
only thing,
you work in a scene, right? That it can be a little rough. And then it was a lot more traumatic than you expected.
Yep. But like those rough scenes, yeah, I mean, we do give our consent to getting slapped, whatever. But it's still mentally draining because it's work. Like, there's a lot of stop and goes. There's a lot of pauses. There's just like a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that is mentally draining.
Right. And it's like,
and we get no TLC afterward. Like for BDSM stuff,
really?
Some of those guys don't really do, TLC. I mean, some will check up on you, but some won't. So it's like me personally, if I do any kind of hardcore BDSM scene, I always make sure I have a friend that'll at least give me a hug after or any kind of TLC. Because I'm like, just come here. I need you. I need your arms real quick. And then, it's good to go.
Right. I mean, those are the things that people aren't seeing though, because I don't think there's like when people like you and other people in the industry come into like the fucking internet to do interviews and stuff, right? I don't think there's enough real talk.
No, there definitely isn't. There's a lot of jokes. There's a few moments of real talk, but not to an extent that gets workers' voices really heard.
And that's what I kind of really like about how I deal with the podcasts, right? Like we're able to dig in because this is the stuff people need to hear and honestly that they want to hear.
Kit is doing a come stream, I believe, every Friday, and that's hosted by our models. So
that's right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a podcast.
That's awesome. If you guys ever want me to actually like pop in and be a voice and just ask these questions for you guys, I'd be more than willing to drop in and do that. You don't even got to give me content or whatever. Just a lend a hand, raise awareness, because I believe
I'll be I'll be joining a stream here shortly, and I can always just be like, hey, I'm going to be on. And then, you can come say hi or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Actually, my roommate has a phrase. He replaced yeah and hell yeah. He starts saying, yeah. If you guys want to
I like that.
If you guys want to steal that, like you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, there's a lot of serious issues I think even the adult industry need to kind of address, like the TLC thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to like bring it up on Twitter because, Twitter's full of trolls who be like, oh, you're not strong enough. You can handle it. You took this big of a like. Oh, okay.
Oh God. And you know what? Here's a question, right? That the size. That's something that a lot of people wonder about, right? Like here's the question for, and I'm sure all the ladies have.
Does size matter?
No, it's size preference. It's size preference, okay? Because every guy out there is looking at their junk. They're looking at the screen, and the junk on the screen is as big as their junk that's in their hand because it's smaller on the screen, but it's as big in comparison to theirs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as like, you get what I'm saying, it's much smaller on the screen than it is in person, right? So,
I mean, angles, if you can work your angle, good for you.
So it's more just like the actual application of what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's got to be sometimes uncomfortable to have like VD pushing around the insides.
It literally does. You're like, oh, that was my rib cage. No big deal.
Oh no. Oh no. So probably average size, like evolution did a good job on average size dicks.
Yeah. Okay. So there is quite a few of, I guess you could say, average sized dicks in porn. But people know how, like the directors just know how to angle the camera well, and the performers know how to work the camera well. Yeah, present it well. Where it's like, oh my god, that's so huge. And in reality, it's like barely there.
And then you see like the some photos that are just very point blank, where it's the dick next to the chick's forearm.
Okay, you know what? Those are scary. Those are scary. So I got a dildo that's for free, and literally it is as big as my forearm, and I am terrified of it. And it is so heavy. Like I should just send you a picture of it. It is terrifying.
I don't know if it'll make it through my explicit content filter, but I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I live with a bunch of gay furries, right?
Uh-huh. Hey, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, and they host like 2 parties a week. And the house is full of just gay men. And then after
that sounds like fun.
After about 8 p.m., it becomes clothing optional.
I mean, isn't that at any party?
Well, it depends, on the demographic. Gay furries are a little bit more libertine, right?
Oh yeah, you are correct. Yes.
And like I'm the only straight dude in the house of like 30 people. So sometimes it gets a little much, and I sequester myself to my office and I work on stuff. So one day, very specifically, I think you'll get a kick out of this, ladies, is I come out of my office to get a drink, and I look off to my right, and I see 3 men eating each other's asses, human centipede style. And they all stop and they look up at me at the same time. And they're wearing like jock straps and harnesses.
This sounds like Wolf of Wall Street. When everyone's just in the office.
I tell you not. Like after that event, they erected a tent in the living room. But like no woman has ever had sex in that tent, so I renamed it the gay tent. You know what I mean?
Oh, that is so great.
And there's bottles of all over my house all the time. Because, none of them produce their own natural lubricant, right? And
I mean, those don't.
Yeah, no, they do not. Guys, listen, if you're going to put it in her, loosen it up first, put a little bit of there, go really far. It'll go really far. She'll thank you, and you have a better chance of regaining entry into the state.
You won't have a shitty day.
You won't have a shitty day. Especially like if she cleaned out first beforehand. Oh.
Yep. You are correct.
There's just so much about that stuff that people aren't educated on. And
they just try to stick it in, especially if it's dirty.
Well, I think like the biggest issue with guys too, right, is they only think about their experience and have done zero research.
It is true. I've had to educate a few where I'm like, okay, no. You got to do the steps first before you even go near that hole. Right.
And then like there's a mixed like studies out there of some women are like, yeah, no, it's horrible. I've tried it multiple times. And some are like, oh, I f***ing love it. And then, it's different for every person.
It is. It's just because there's a lot of nerve endings right there. So it is very different. But you can train your boot hole to enjoy that kind of stuff. It takes time to train it.
Right. Same thing, like if you got a reflex, you can train that too. I actually
yeah, you can.
I was watching a medical podcast today, right? That said if you take your thumb and you hold it down with your other fingers, it can actually suppress your reflex.
I've tried it. It works.
It's crazy, ain't it?
It is. I don't know how, but okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you can also desensitize the back of the tongue, which is the actual thing that causes that as well. I'm really like when I get
it feels good for me.
well, guys, you heard that. And like because I'm so educated and well read on this because what I actually did is I studied lesbians on when it comes to like having sex with women, right? Just studied what lesbians were talking about, that lesbians were doing, and I just started doing that. And then I got a lot of thank yous, Shelby.
I can believe it because a woman knows how to please another woman most of the time. I won't say all the time because I've had a few bad experiences, but most of the time.
Right. And it's just like, guys, if you really want to, up your game, just do a little bit of reading. It'll go a long ways.
It truly will. I mean, it's nice because you can always ask. Oh, I mean, you should probably tip a sex worker first, and you can always ask her and be like, hey, what really turns you on? Like, this is a serious question. And you can even explain why. Like, I've had people come to me, they're like, oh my God, you saved my marriage because like you helped my wife like be more comfortable or stuff like that. Like, it doesn't hurt to ask a sex worker like what pleases a woman in the bedroom.
And
if you don't feel comfortable asking anyone else.
Yeah, not just that. Like, get your ego out of the way and just ask your partner.
That too. I mean, I can understand being shy and everything. So like, if you are too shy, just, ask and then tell your partner. Because, before I was very shy. Like, I was so shy.
I can imagine it got you out of your shell just a little bit.
Just a little, just a tad bit.
When you're taking about 8 at once, timidity, it's not really a thing at that point.
Okay, you know what? I still get nervous on camera. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. It's nerve-wracking. Everyone is seeing like every single what we view as imperfections, they may view as like perfection.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you overthink it, So I still get nervous.
Well, it's body dysmorphia probably to an extent.
Yeah, I have it really bad. Yeah. Right.
And it's like, so back to the
society is amazing.
Society, man, human psychology is fascinating. It is a fascinating thing what extents they'll go to bust some.
Literally.
So like the depths they'll go to just bust that nut,
Oh, speaking of which, so it has a sock. So if you need to fill your load with something,
we've got a sock for you. Collector as well.
Yeah, that too.
You guys need to get get your own brand of lube.
That's not a bad idea.
We were thinking about dildos and plugs.
I have a lot of merchandising ideas in this department, right? Like, you should have
a flashlight.
Oh yeah. This is a funny idea, right? And I think it would sell.
Mm-hmm.
You could have the people on the sites get their faces on plugs and then pay a premium to be put in the girl's. So it's just their face on the end of the plug.
Literally eating ass.
It's a great idea, and you know it. Like, you just see the back of the ass and just the person's face with a thumbs up.
Okay, so I was talking in the Discord earlier today, and I was like, I really want a sock with my face on it so that I can get face all the time.
That's beautiful.
Who doesn't love a good photo? It's very good moisturizer.
I think a flashlight with an image of the girl on it would be fantastic too.
Oh yeah, so you kind of like
so you
getting her mouth in
every day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, right? Like,
yeah.
You guys can take that and run with it. I give you my full consent. Like, I'll
make a meme out of it.
Oh yeah, can you imagine just like plugs with your like community's faces like inside the beads? It's like beads with like different faces of the community members like inside the bead. As it comes out, it's the developer team just whoop, 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 whoop. I think it'd be great.
Oh my God.
I got lots of merchandising ideas. You can, little clamps that are in the shape of the CR for the rocket. Just
or in the shape of fingers, like you're pinching the nip.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, there's right now Lydia's over there taking notes like a case. Butt plugs and faces.
Write that down.
Finger nip clamps. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like So I have a guess where the name came from, right? It's the idea that it's a currency that's going to go to the moon via fueled by right?
Well, I was thinking of what to call it, and too many projects have like moon in the name. So that's where the rocket bit came from. I was like, I've not seen a project that has rocket in yet. So that's another thing that's like going to the moon.
You guys need like a that's like the amalgamation of a rocket.
Oh yeah, we've been talking ideas. Like Bad Dragon has those fire hydrant toys.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so I wonder if they'll make rockets.
I gotta tell you, this is why I brought up the gay furries. So one of my old roommates has a bunch of Bad Dragon toys, of course, right? Gay guy, furry, and he has.
Okay, you know what? Their toys are really good, though.
They make good products, you know.
They're customizable. I love it.
He has Bramble Hoof, you know, the horse, and the thing is massive. And he's like, whenever I take it in my butt, man, it requires a little bit of finesse. So every time I hear that song from Bruno Mars, you know, I came dripping with finesse, you know, and it's like, and so, but I convinced him to let me slap him on the chest with that motherfucker, you know, and it's got the balls. And like, so I just thumped him really hard with this dick, and I made him nearly fall over with it, right? And I think a fun game you guys can do is dildo flipping, trying to make them land upright. You do that on stream.
Yeah, because the with the suction cup ones.
Yeah, no, just like the ones that have the flat bottoms. The Bad Dragons do really well on it because it has the balls,
you're right.
The balls and the base, and it's flat and can stand upright. Like,
man, you know a lot about those.
I live with gay guys, and as a person who cares about my partner's experience, I am not opposed to learning the equipment that makes them happy. So me and him, we were taking these deals, and it got really competitive because we're trying to flip them, get them land upright. And as soon as one I flipped it and landed upright. I was like, yes, you know, I got so excited. It's way more flipping is way more competitive than you think it's gonna be. I'm telling you. Next
I'm
time
sure because they're like so floppy.
I know, hard.
Literally.
So next time you get the girlfriends around or a few friends, break out your dildos instead of just f***ing each other. Flip them instead, and it'll be one of the funnest things you've ever done with a dildo. I promise.
That's gonna be my next porno. So whatever toy lands upright, we have to use on each other.
That is a brilliant idea.
All thanks to you.
Yay! Now I'm impacting porn. It's always been a dream. Well, if ever you need ridiculous ideas, my line is always open for a call if I'm not doing something else. So
if you're not having parties.
Yeah. Oh my God. We were having them once a week. Now it's twice a week. And it's like, and it's a different group of furries every time.
Wow, that's a lot of furries.
Where do you find them all?
Yeah. At Life?
No. My roommate ran a furry convention business where he would go to furry conventions and sell t-shirts, and he made like $1 million in a year selling furry merch.
That's amazing.
And
I want to go to one just to say I went to one.
We have one here in Indianapolis coming up called Indie Fur Fest. You know, like we got like 8 couches, you know, like you won't have to do any work. I won't let anybody f with you unless you want them to. You can come out. Go to Indie Fur Fest because like this is the furry house right here. Like there's people like instead of paying hotel rates, they are wanting to pay a premium so they can stay at this house during the convention.
Yep, I can see that. Especially because it's with someone who's well known in the community and has built their name well enough. Yeah, I could see why people would be like, yeah, I want to go there. Yeah,
we got like in our warehouse, between the warehouse and the garage, we have like $100,000 worth of furry merch. So it's like there's a lot.
Sounds like a very furry party.
It is a very furry party. And then you got people showing up in fursuits. You got some people not showing up in their gear, and it's just a bunch of gay dudes hanging around. So like I'm sure like because like 75% of the furry fandom are men, and then like the demographic is like 90% are gay.
Yeah, I can see that. I love gay guys though; they're hilarious.
Well, my business partner, my best friend's gay, and then the other roommate, and then I got a transgender woman that lives in the house too.
Mhm.
She still has her though, so
Hey, whatever. That's fine.
Having it's a non-starter for me. It's not that I'm against that. It's not a starter for me,
It's just not your preference.
It's not my preference.
It's common.
But, I don't think I could live in this house as long as I have if I had any kind of bigotry in my body.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, at all, So, it's like I make a lot of jokes, right? But they know me well enough now to where it's like, oh, it's just Crowley.
Yep,
So
I could see that.
So what's the next big step from Rocket, Lydia?
So we're actually launching one of the first, if not the first, VR NFT gallery.
Ooh.
It looks amazing.
We're launching that tomorrow, actually. So you can see all of our NFTs in VR, or like immersive at your PC.
Very nice. So when you say NFTs, it's like porn, right?
Yeah, 18 plus NFTs.
Yeah.
Gotta collect them all,
Oh yeah, Bubba. Gotta get the Shelby Platinum package,
That's not a bad idea.
We are making farms as well.
Farms.
So you can farm your coins.
Like there has to, you guys, I think you should develop a mining tool that's like connected to a flashlight, right? That the more they use it, the more they mine of your currency.
Or if it's of a toy, and the more you drink it, the more you farm it, the more coins explode.
Exactly. I think that's a genius way to to make your mining very different. And then you guys got to get like some VR stuff to where you can develop those Ready Player One suits to where they can interact with the NFTs.
Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I just watched that.
Oh, I'm actually talking to this guy right now. His company is trying to make Ready Player One a reality.
Oh, that's actually really cool. Again, scary at the same time, but that's cool.
They're like minting like single run NFTs for VR.
Huh, that's cool.
So like your avatars will be the only one in existence of that avatar with that specific gear, like as they mint it. And it's like pro grade, like Ready Player One level CGI type stuff.
Badass.
Yeah, it's cool stuff, man. Like the whole thing with what's happening inside, like I'm very passionate about the VR space because I love me some Beat Saber first off. And then I'm also very excited about the crypto space and seeing that, seeing things like the adult industry evolve, because the adult industry has been evolving since the dawn of humanity, right?
Basically.
To me, it's a sign of our evolution as a species when that evolves too. And it's very promising to me on an evolutionary level with, my interest in anthropology and stuff, that the industry is evolving with it too, because that's a sign that we as a species are headed in the right direction, as odd as a statement that might seem, because it's porn, like when the work evolves, society evolves.
We are disrupting the industry with this because we're putting onto the blockchain, which hasn't been done before. Which
is fantastic, because here's the thing, right? The adult industry has always been an innovator for technology.
It's true.
It's always been an innovator for technology. And because you can always count on people's dicks and drive to motivate a project.
Yeah, and their emotions. Crypto is very emotional.
It is very emotional. And when I saw that Rocket existed, I literally, as I said, I was like, I want to talk to them because I think it'll be a fun interview for one. I was really just expecting to laugh the entire time, but I'm really glad that we had the deeper conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm full of both.
I'm sure you're full of a lot of things.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's very innovative. And as I've said, I have a lot of respect for what you ladies are doing. Like, all jokes aside, it's a very hard industry, pun not intended.
Oh yeah, it truly is.
And I think that as you guys,
It's pun intended too.
right? Hey, as you guys develop, and you can create some better aftercare type systems in kind of like what would be really cool is to eventually like get like real big corporations where you have like human resources things of like, therapists on staff to work with the workers and stuff like that to be able to make sure that their mental health is in check and stuff like that. I think that would be really, really powerful.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's some programs in the industry, but you never know. But I mean, one thing I really like about Rocket is they listen to the models, they listen to our inputs, and they actually implement it. So
Right.
that's like one major thing that I really, really like.
So Lydia, real quick before we wrap up, now what really motivated you to start this project?
I wanted to see what could be done. So I was really inspired by like big projects on the Binance Smart Chain space, and I just wanted to see where I could take my own. And I'm so glad I went on this adventure.
That's fantastic. Well, ladies, I love that you were here. If you want to come out in the future, or if you want to bring me out to kind of just like hang out with you gals, I'd be more than welcome to do some networking, have some laughs, share some of the crazy stories from my life, because there are some crazy stories now, I tell you. But keep up the good work, though. Despite what anybody says, you guys are changing the space. You're helping society as a whole evolve. And I think
it's amazing. I love Rocket.
I really think that it could have a massive impact on the world. Like, as odd as it seems, when you look at, credit cards were basically came into existence because people wanted to purchase in the first place.
That is true.
Like with us, girls won't have to encounter chargebacks.
Yes,
which
I'm
is
so
one big
excited for
advantage.
that.
Yeah. And also with it being in crypto, right? It's going to be a lot easier for them to have stable bank accounts too, because there's a lot of places even where sex work is legal. Some banks will just outright deny a sex worker based upon their field of work.
That is true. I mean, it's hard to convert some models to crypto because they don't understand. And so that's like one of the main things that me and a few other models do is we try to explain crypto the best way that we can so that they understand like, oh my God, like this is actually a lot better for us than what we are doing now.
Right. And that's the beautiful thing. You guys aren't just gorgeous and you guys are intelligent. So you got the smartest, sexiest bunch on the web. What's not to love? Make sure to go check out their streams. I'm sure they're plenty naughty and plenty of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Are we allowed to shout out our website?
Yeah, check out rocket.io and their various other platforms, which it's everything that you need that we can actually like link on YouTube will be in the description below. Otherwise, you'll be able to find everything that you need for them through their website. So, ladies, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
I'm excited for your project. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. And man, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your insight and for being just who you are, innovators inside the crypto space.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on.
Of course. Why wouldn't I, right? Why wouldn't I? So with that being said, folks, you got to remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share with all of your friends, especially the naughty ones that are going to want to know about these things, okay? And then you got to ring the bell for future notifications so you can get all the information you need for all these new projects that are being innovative and changing the space so you can make informed decisions. Now, we're not financial advisors by any means, but I think Rocket's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the last thing, when you get some Rocket and you get your dick in your hand, is hodl that shit.